Namaste, Coven. Welcome to the mat. If you are brand new here, then welcome. My name is Bethany and I am the Yogi Witch. And today we are going to work through a really gorgeous balance between back bends and forward folds in this shield and protect flow. So I don't know if you've recognized that there's a little theme going on as we move to the new moon. We have got some really soulful practices going on. We've got some talisman spells and we have just got a general area of safety, of healing, of protection before we move into that gorgeous fire of Samhain that is coming. So in today's practice, like I said, we're going to find the balance between back bends and forward folds, looking at moving into the peak pose of camel pose. So you can grab any kind of props that make you feel more supportive, any tools that you like to make your practice that little bit more witchy. And when you're ready, Coven, I will meet you back here in just a moment so we can create some beautiful magic through our movements. Okay, my darling, so to begin today's practice, you're going to come into a child's pose at the back of your mat. So bring in the big toes to touch, take the knees wide and relax the body down. I am just going to cleanse and clear our space today. So releasing any kind of negative energies, any toxic energies that's perhaps followed us here. If you work with sage or incense, you might choose to do so here. If not, as always, do not worry. I'm sending this cleansing smoke all the way from my mat to yours. As we come together as a collective coven, beginning to even out the breath, beautiful long inhales, beautiful long exhales. Starting to put aside any worries, darlings, any stress that seems to have followed you here. Starting to bring your entire focus to your breath, to the sensation of the mat beneath your fingertips, maybe beneath your forehead. As we begin to connect heaven to earth, activating our child's pose by pressing into the palms of the hands and lifting those elbows off the mat. And if you can't quite rid yourself of that chatter, give yourself that massage. Open the third eye by rolling the forehead from side to side. And as I said in the intro, that today we're going to find a gorgeous balance between our forward folds and our back bends. Exploring the peak pose of camel pose. Exploring the idea of the heart chakra of shielding and protecting ourselves. So from here, we inhale to press into those hands, roll the body all the way through your downward facing dog, drop those hips and begin to roll onto those forearms, immediately coming into your Sphinx pose. So pointing those toes to either corner of the mat, elbows stacked just underneath the shoulders, and we start to find a lift through the crown of the head. We start to unblock this heart chakra. The energy point associated with love, with healing, with protection, with compassion. And today we're going to unblock it, releasing any emotions that perhaps we haven't dealt with or any emotions that are still kind of tormenting us. Understanding that we deserve love, we welcome love, we receive love, but we also have the power to protect ourselves from energies that want to cause us harm or people that perhaps are a little bit toxic. Especially as we move into this new moon, we really want to protect ourselves, but also open ourselves up to the healing powers of the lunar phase. So you can choose to stay here with the forearms on the mat, or you could begin to bend those elbows, bring the hands to prayer, and start to activate that core by pulling those hip bones down into the earth, holding here for 5 breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale. On your exhale, one hand comes on top of the other. Relax the palms down. First, we lift the elbows and then relax the body, giving those hips a teeny tiny bit of a wiggle into the mat to release that energy. Maybe bending the knees, taking a few little ankle rolls, taking some hip rolls from side to side. Doesn't have to be perfect movement. Just any kind of wiggles here that feels good to you. Beautiful. Before we relax those legs down about hips width apart, relax the forehead, and we're going to move on to the fingertips on the corner of our mat. And we're going to work through some cobra rolls together. So on our inhale, press into the fingertips and roll the body all the way up. Exhale, bend the elbows, relax down. Inhale to lift. Beautiful. Exhale, roll down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll down. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower all the way down. Slide the hands next to the chest. This time on our inhale, we find our way to upward facing dog, glancing back at one foot. Beautiful. Move through center, glance back at the other. Bend those knees, tuck the toes, and come to meet me in your first downward facing dog. Beginning to pedal out those legs here. Bend one knee, bend another. Maybe it's your first down dog in a while, that's okay. Start to get used to your body's boundaries, how it's feeling. And we're going to keep opening up our heart now, finding a little bit of movement with some spinal waves. So on your inhale, press into the toes, roll the body all the way to an upward facing dog. And then exhale to bend the knees, hip bones move high to the sky. Inhale, roll through, upward facing dog. Exhale, bend the knees, push the hip bones to the sky. Now this movement doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to start to feel the shoulders burn, start to feel the upper body strength. So just take your waves 3 more times. Welcome to modify by dropping those knees to the mat. Beautiful. Take it one more time. Before we come back to downward facing dog, bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, sweep that right leg nice and high to the sky. Bend that knee off, split dog. Inhale. Exhale, draw this knee to the chest, round to the shoulders, and step between the thumbs. Keep left hand down, back leg up. Pull that right arm all the way to the sky. Inhale into your twist. Exhale, lower that back knee down, engage the core, and move first to Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Inhale. Before we exhale, find prayer hands. Drop the thumbs at the back of the neck and gaze towards the moon. Holding for 3. Holding for 2. Yes, on your 1, bring the hands to prayer. And from here, we're going to find our prayer twist. Hook left elbow, right knee, gaze towards the back of the mat. Taking as much movement as you like. We're going to push into that back heel, lift all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, hands frame, front foot, step all the way to the top of the mat. Bend the knees, find the elbows, and forward fold. If it feels good to you, you can even wrap the arms around the legs and relax the head down. Beautiful, Coven. Inhale, fingertips to the mat or hands to the shins, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, roll the body all the way up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae. Take the hands behind the hips and start to find a mini back bend here by pushing those hips out and sending the body back. Remember, fight that urge to engage the core by holding the breath. Keep that breath flowing as we hold 3, we hold 2, and 1. Gently bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale to gaze forward, straighten that back. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back left leg, step back right, and take your first vinyasa, press off those toes, bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Today, finding cobra, keep the hips low, bend the elbows, inhale cobra. Exhale, extend the arms, hip bones to the sky, downward facing dog, beautiful movements. Bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, left leg to the sky, bend that knee off, split dog, inhale. Exhale, draw this knee to the chest with control and step between the thumbs. Left hand stays down, back leg floats up, and we float left hand to the sky. Come into your twist. Inhale. Exhale, lower back knee down with control and move to Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Yes. Sweeping those arms first to the sky and then drop thumbs behind the neck in prayer hands. Gaze towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come, heart center, and we hook right elbow, left knee. Gaze towards the back of the mat. Option to stay with the back knee down, option to tuck the toes under and lift all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, hands frame front foot, and we step to that forward fold, finding the elbows or wrapping the arms around the legs, fighting that urge to keep the neck kind of rigid, just shake it off and let it go. Inhale, fingertips to the mat, Coven, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, keep that body rolling slowly, first to mountain, and then hands behind the hips. Begin to push those hip bones forward and come into a mini back bend. Inhale. Yes, exhale, bend the knees, and we forward fold. Inhale to gaze forward, create length. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back that right leg, step back the left, and take your vinyasa. Hips to the mat, inhale to cobra. We keep this flow going. Exhale all the way into downward facing dog. But from our down dog, we're going to walk those feet as wide as the mat. Shift our weight to the left hand, right hand floats under the body to grab that right leg. Holding for 3, holding 2, and 1. Right hand comes down, shift your weight and take it to the other side. Holding for 3, holding for 2, and 1. Left hand comes to the mat, wiggle the big toes to touch. Inhale, sweep right leg high to the sky, bend this knee off, split dog. Beautiful. Exhale, draw this knee to the chest and step between the thumbs, immediately finding your way into your twist. But this time, wrap that right arm behind the back. Gaze towards the stars. Inhale. Exhale, untangle right arm, keep the back leg up. Meet me in high lunge this time. Bend into that front knee, push into that back heel and sweep those arms up and overhead. Inhale. This time on our exhale, we're going to open up our prayer twist by first bringing the hands to prayer, pivot on that back foot, and we're going to take the outside of that right elbow just to the inside of the right knee. Gaze towards the sky. Holding for 3, holding 2. On your 1, keep the hands in prayer. Begin to extend that front leg and meet me in Trikonasana. Core is engaged. You're welcome to find that block and lift those arms into classic Trikonasana whenever you fancy. But we hold here. Woo, core is firing. For 3, for 2, 1. Gaze down to that front foot and hands come to frame it. Pivot on the back toes. Step all the way to the top of the mat. Shift your weight to the toes. Draw the heels down and give yourself a little bit of self-love here. So wrap your arms around, hug that body. Finding that yin and the yang, we're opening up the heart, but we also want to protect ourselves. Open to receive love, to give love, but also powerful enough to protect our heart center. Inhale, release fingertips from the mat or hands to the shins to gaze forwards. This time on our exhale, we're going to step back one leg, lower the knee down. Step back another, knees about hips width apart, tuck the tippy toes under, and we lift the body. Working any way that you need to come to your camel pose. We're going to begin to send the hip bones forward and send the body back. Maybe you stay with one arm to the sky. Maybe you work with the hands on your back. But wherever you want to be, explore your camel pose. Push the hips out and find your back bend. Holding for 3. Holding for 2. For 1. Lift the body and relax down to child's pose. Camel pose is a beautiful deep back bend, and it is a gorgeous heart opener. It blocks that heart chakra. So we have to honor it. After every camel pose, whether you practice with me, another teacher, or in your own self-practice, please ensure you come to a child's pose. Honor it. Find that balance. If any emotions start to come up here, that's okay, my loves. You're in a safe space with me. Inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, we keep flowing. Hands to the mat, tuck toes under, hip bones to the sky. Bring those big toes to touch. Sweep left leg first high to the sky, and then we bend that knee off, split dog. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest. Step between the thumbs, pull left arm all the way up to the sky, and then wrap it behind your back in your twist. Gaze high for 3. Ooh. For 2. 1. Untangle left arm and lift the body into high lunge. Press into that back heel. Keep the arms to the sky before we drop the prayer hands behind the head. Inhale. Exhale, pivot back foot, and let's open up our prayer twist. Outside of that left elbow comes to rest on the inside of that right left knee. Open up the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Extend the front leg and move to your prayer. Trikonasana, welcome at any point to open up those arms. Staying here for 3. For 2, 1, bend into that front knee, hands frame foot, and we step all the way to the top of our mats. Finding a gorgeous forward fold, wrap the arms around the legs, shift your weight to the tippy toes, but keep those heels down. Inhale, Coven, fingertips to the mat, gaze forwards. Beautiful. Exhale, plant the hands down. Step back one leg, lower the knee. Step back another. And let's explore our camel pose. If the first one felt too much, finding the ankles and use those blocks. Use a bolster, anything at all. If you're happy to flow, press those hips all the way forwards. And then find your camel pose. Open up the heart and engage the core. For 3, for 2, and 1. Find your way to child's pose. Beautiful. If any emotions start to come up, let them, release them, and acknowledge them with kindness, with compassion. We're going to take one final camel pose here before we come to cool down our practice, just a mini kind of practice to open up our heart and take care of our mind, our bodies, our soul. If you don't want to take camel pose once more, you don't have to. If you'd like to, you can follow me, transitioning your way in your own time to your camel pose. And when you are done, come to meet me once more in child's pose. Taking your time. Ensuring we keep those hips pressed out, stacking on tops of those knees. And when you've taken your movement, come back to child's pose. You can even come to a deeper forward fold by tucking those toes under, press into the hands and explore your mobility by lifting hip bones high and wrap your arms around the legs. Inhale, gaze forwards wherever you are. Exhale, lower those knees back to the mat. And we're going to swing them all the way forwards. Bring knees to chest. Hug them close. And relax your spine by taking a little wiggle from side to side. Massaging the base of the spine into the mat. Relaxing that spine a little bit more. We're going to come into our happy baby pose. So you're welcome to simply take underneath the knees and separate the legs, or you can take the outside of the feet here, press that lower spine to the mat and just relax the spine here. Inhale. Exhale. Bring feet to touch. Bring knees to touch and allow them to fall over to the right hand side of our mat. Gaze comes to the left. Inhale, those knees move through center. Exhale, switch your twist. Inhale, bring those knees to the center. You can relax the body to one side to bring yourself to seated. You can cross the ankles and take a few rocks. But meeting me in a comfortable seated position. Rolling those shoulders away from the ears, and from here, taking the fingertips, we're just going to press to the space just underneath the ribs, so starting to activate this solar plexus a little bit, and just kind of letting a glow radiate through your body, almost like a shield of protection. That heart is open to receive love, to give love, to give compassion to others, to ourselves. And then once you've activated the solar plexus, bring one hand to the heart, bring another to the belly. Aiming to equal out those inhales and those exhales once more. Maybe feeling the vibrations in the belly from your gorgeous camel pose, all that energy. And if you crave a longer Shavasana today, maybe you want to take some time to journal and meditate. You can press pause here and come back to the closing prayer whenever you like. But if you're ready to finish off this class with me, then let's bring hands to heart and then bow heaven to earth with gratitude to ourselves, to the coven, and as always from me to you, thanking you for joining me here today. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be safe, and may you always be at peace and ease, Coven. Blessed be. Thanking you so much for joining me here today for this gorgeous Shield and Protect flow. I hope you were able to open up the heart and also protect it a little bit today with this back bend and forward fold flow. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to give me a little message over my Instagram at the Yogi Witch, or even comment below. But I do upload 3 free flows a week, so I would appreciate any kind of support you have, and maybe a little like or a subscribe, anything at all. But please know that from the bottom of my heart, I am sending so much love, sending so much healing, and sending so much magic from my space to yours, and I look forward to seeing you again here soon. I'll see you later, my loves.